been whacked. They convinced me.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. How are you guys? So today's video is video one of an installment series analyzing Tiger King with a rhetorical lens. So we're going to be looking at today at the rhetorical triangle, at who's, the speaker, who's the one putting this out there, who's the intended audience, what is the message, and for what purpose. So follow along. All right. So if you consider the following, very lightly, this is for English 10 at Wood Creek High School. And anytime in this presentation, you can click this magnifying glass and it should open an academic presentation about rhetoric. So you can look up, and there's definitions as soon as this will load, and videos so that you can understand what I'm talking about. And I'll use these terms freely in this Tiger King presentation. So I appreciate your patience. If you look at the rhetorical lens, the rhetorical triangle, right? So that's looking at who is the speaker, who is the audience, what's the message. Well, the speaker is Netflix, but we see a conflict with that with the directors. So we'll talk about that in a few slides. The audience members, well, obviously it's me because I'm the one who was watching it. But I think people who hold not just Netflix subscriptions, but people who are maybe excited to read or watch what is in the hype, what is everybody talking about. I know for me personally, my news feed, social media feed was filled with COVID-19, coronavirus. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, 2-3 weeks ago, a dramatic flip where all of a sudden it was filled with Tiger King stuff. So I wonder if people are getting in, spring of 2020, if people are getting a little bit sick over their social media feed being so serious, so they want to lighten the mood, thus Tiger King. The message and the purpose are a little complicated. We'll get to that in the few slides, and I want to even open it up to you and your opinion. And I will hope we will continue these in our Zoom sessions, and you don't have to be in my class to participate. I welcome all. So Netflix, if you consider Netflix as the speaker, then, their tagline is murder, mayhem, madness. The quote from Netflix's webpage, the description of Tiger King is, lions, tigers, murder, oh my. A jaw-dropping true tale of con artists, polygamy, rivalry, and revenge. All of that diction is very charged, right? It sparks curiosity. Murder, right? Well, murder is killing, but with a really intense connotation, right? An intentional killing. I went out there to kill someone. Already, you think about all those murder mysteries and true crime docuseries, whether it's, true or fiction, it has us, at least Americans, hooked. Mayhem is like chaos, wildness, uncontrolled. And, if you consider, what is mayhem, perhaps the cast of characters and what they're doing with all these quote unquote zoos or quote unquote cat sanctuaries could be like that. Madness, craziness, right? We all love to be the voyeur, someone looking through a glass at something out of control, right? It's why we get the term rubberneck. It's why, when driving, why people all slow down to look at the crazy, the out of control accident that happened on the freeway. And sometimes, unfortunately, other accidents happen that way. But we are obsessed with looking into someone's unfortunate situation, actually, which is kind of sad. Take a moment, look at the video that Netflix, this is the official trailer. Watch it. It's so intense and extreme. And the images are bright and colorful, meant to maybe attract, a younger viewer. And Google's description of what is Tiger King is a 7-episode true crime docuseries centered on Joe Exotic. Here he is right here. An infamous collector of giant cats like tigers and lions that he keeps at a, quote, zoo in Oklahoma. His other wildcat-related money-making ventures include using tiger cubs as props in magic shows and selling animal-themed merchandise. So from this page, if we considered Netflix as our speaker, we would think, oh, whoa, maybe the purpose is to really entertain and give, its viewers some really rich entertainment. Unfortunately, at Joe Exotic and the other cast of character, Carol Bascom's expense. However, it didn't just start out as Netflix said, "Oh, go shoot this. This is a crazy docuseries." It actually was stumbled upon by the directors Eric Goode and Rebecca Chaiklin. So a little bit of background. Eric Goode is a very active member of animal conservation groups. He still, holds those memberships. And the two of them spent 5 years filming. So this was in the works for a long time. It did not start off so wild. In fact, I believe this started off as just a documentary looking at animal conservation groups. And from there, Chaiklin says it perfectly. Things just kept unfolding and kept unfolding, and things kept escalating, and it was quite a journey, and it never ended. So I wonder, spoiler alert, Joe Exotic goes to jail, but I wonder if those things didn't happen, if it would have kept going. You can click this link. It will actually take you to an article with an interview of some of the directors, and feel free to read. I think this one, the Oklahoman, is fairly good. Chaiklin also said, we were blessed in the project in having subjects, people like Joe Exotic, Carol Bascom, Doc, etc., that were obsessed with filming themselves, right? People who love to be in the spotlight. Narcissism was a common thread. So being obsessed with yourself, thinking everybody wants to know all about you, la, 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 is a common thread. And all of them constantly wanting to be on camera was every filmmaker's dream. Again, this one takes you to a different link. But she ends up continuing to say we had a plethora of footage to then give to Netflix. So this started off as an animal conservation, documentary. And with all the footage of all these narcissists, it ended up turning into a different beast. And so what's the purpose? Well, if you ask Goode and Chaiklin, they might have said, well, it's a research, documentary. And then they even said that around episode 7, things started shifting. If you were to ask Netflix, they would say, oh, it's a wildly entertaining documentary with murder, mayhem, madness. And so it really depends perhaps on whom you're asking. If you're asking the directors, Goode and Chaiklin, or if you're asking Netflix, because they might have, different answers. But the original purpose was this documentary research. And the message, what are Goode, Chaiklin, Netflix saying? Are there mixed messages? Perhaps, right? Because the message may have started with, don't keep cats, big cats, in cages. Don't keep them at these zoos. And instead, it's maybe slightly shifted to an entertaining, wow, don't get caught murdering your husband. Don't get caught up. It's more of a cautionary tale. Don't be like these guys, like Joe Exotic, Carol Bascom, Doc, don't run like sex cults, etc. Than so much, in enlightening information for the reader or for the viewer. So all food for thought. I am very curious what you guys are thinking, hoping, and thoughts about what's the purpose, what's the message of Tiger King. We'll probably discuss this in my Tuesday 9 a.m. Zoom. And in fact, I'll actually put the link down in here before I post. Anyway, thanks very much, you cool cats and kittens. I appreciate your views, and I'll catch you. I'm hoping maybe to make 1 or 2 videos weekly. So maybe I'll catch you later this week.